Hi, my name is Aubrey, and today I'll be teaching you about MouseTrap Car Basics. Your task is to take the energy that is stored in a spring of a mousetrap and use that energy to make a vehicle move. Some laws that we will be going over are Hooke's Law and Newton's Law. A guy named Robert Hooke came up with Hooke's Law, which is F equals negative kx. F is the force that the spring is storing or can generate, minus the constant k. The spring constant depends on how big the spring is and what the material is made of, multiplied by x. X is how much the spring can stretch. The more you stretch the spring, the more force the spring is holding. When the spring is released, it will use that force however you want. The force of the spring will then move the vehicle. This brings us to Newton's law, which is F equals ma. F is the force, m is the mass of the vehicle, a is the acceleration. Since the spring's force is fixed, you want A to be big. You want a light car compared to the force so that it will have the greatest A, which means that M is very small. You can choose to compete in two different categories. The sprint to 10 meters is the first one. The goal is to use up the energy as fast as possible. The next is range. The goal for this choice is to save up the energy so that the car will go further. You need to approach the two races differently. The distance traveled equals the initial velocity multiplied by time plus half the acceleration multiplied by time squared. The car starts at rest, so the initial velocity equals 0. So really, d equals half at for the sprint. D is fixed, so basically 10 equals half at. Then you can bring half to the other side and get 20 equals at squared. The goal for the sprint is to get the shortest time. You want t squared to be as small. In order to do that, you make a as large as possible. For range, you want to make d large. To do this, add a large t or a large a, or both. Your job is to take the spring energy and change it into the wheel motion. Another thing that you have to do is be creative. You don't want your car to be the same as everyone else's. Try thinking outside the box. The goal is to make your car faster or have better endurance than everyone else's. You won't have a faster car if you do the same design.